I didn't think this was for me. In fact, if I'm honest, I didn't even... Isn't about being the best rider, saying that even now you can choose something different. Sheep are coming. checking it. I think it's still burnt and practically cinders.
That one should be well done.
Oops.
Don't drop the coal. Green potato. That one was on low heat. Okay, that's looking more promising than last time. I reckon we smashed it this time.
Well, gonna withhold judgment. I think this one might be a bit.
Look at that. I can see a potato that's not. Look at that. Beautiful.
Ow, it's cooked.
It's cooked. Is it warm inside?
Yeah.
Right, open the other one. Is that one mine? Oh, that one's even more well done.
Yep.
Beautiful.
Better attempt this time.
Let's tackle this mess. So you can see what we want to uncover. Although the orange tree looked well from up above, most of the growth was actually from the rootstock as opposed to the tree which was grafted onto that rootstock, and that's the one that we want to grow. So we had to clear all of that growth off and only leave the orange tree that we want to grow. Oh, he's on a nice thick stem now.
Well, that's not its own stem.
Oh, right, okay. But it's nice.
Well, I don't think it is. I would imagine that's still the graft it's attached to.
Just as an example, here you can see the plant that we want to grow, and you can see what the leaf looks like. And here you can see what the leaf of the rootstock looks like. It's more clover-like.
Still spiky. Right, that's as low down as I can get. Yeah, that should give it a good chance now.
Well, it's been a very busy week for us, more so behind the scenes rather than in terms of what we're filming for you guys. But some important things are happening. So just to give you a quick catch up since we got back from the bikes, we've got obviously a set of bike clothes now, which we needed to accommodate somewhere because we're going to be riding regularly. So we had to get a what do you call it, like a coat rack or something like that. For
another piece of furniture.
Yeah, so so that's now living downstairs next to the fridge. My parents arrived with a few bits and pieces of ours whilst we were away, so they dropped them off kindly, so thank you very much. In terms of things that we have been up to, we started the process of applying for our residencies, which is a bit of a relief, but it's a big step for us because obviously we sold the house in the UK. We've invested over here. We've basically moved ourselves and our pets over here, but we still haven't got a guarantee that we'll actually be able to stay. Now obviously we've done our research and we are pretty confident that it will be fine, but it's not guaranteed. So the way we have to do it, and we'll talk about it in a bit more detail in a future video, first we need to apply for my residency. Once I've got my residency, then we need to get on to Joe's. Now my residency, we're hoping, will be sorted by the time next video comes out, so we'll give you an update then. Speaking of which, from next video we are going to be starting on the lower barn.
Emptying the barns.
Yes, we went to see the architect in Penamacore today, who's, as other people have said online and like people we know over here, he's a really nice guy, really approachable, speaks really good English. Obviously we were prepared to speak Portuguese and sort of limp it, but I think he preferred to speak English to us.
Did, yeah.
It's almost as if it was an opportunity for him to practice his English with us.
Yeah, he speaks perfect English.
He speaks very good English. He's given us some really good advice. He's referred to as the architect, but he's basically the planning officer for this area. Okay. I imagine all the planning, not permissions, but requests go through him. It's a free service. You can go and make an appointment with him. The building where you need to go is by the museum in Penamacore. I'll put the details on the screen. We had to wait less than a week.
About a week,
yeah, something like that. And he spent with us over an hour. He wasn't clock watching. The only time he actually told us that we had to move on was when his next group of people arrived.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was really nice. So in terms of the work that we want to do, we were hoping to point the house in the village. but he talked us out of it. The reason being how stone buildings manage humidity, and although there are a couple of places by the front door pretty much that have a damp issue, that's probably mainly due to the fact that they've used concrete cement as opposed to lime plaster on the inside.
But it wasn't solely to do with humidity, was it? So the way that the bricks have been
laid,
the stones have been laid to the house, and the way that they've put little pieces in, it's actually quite historic. He says, and if you point it, you lose all of that detail. And he said when people come to look, those are the houses they want to look at, the ones that have still got the traditional building
that not pointed, basically.
That aren't pointed, that you can look at. So he didn't say we couldn't.
No.
He said if we really wanted to, we could, and he wouldn't be there to stop us. But he strongly suggested that we didn't, and that we just filled the gaps, the holes that are there, by putting the cement behind and keep the original look of the brickwork, because it is very traditional for our particular village, because these houses are quite old.
Yeah.
So
we're going
to go with that.
He did say that the breeze block strip that we've got at the top, where
that needs to be finished, he said.
The previous owners
raised the
roof a little bit, I suppose, to put the new roof on. He said to render that and just have that painted white, or use white render. So we'll need to work out how we do that, because we want to have a go at doing that ourselves, even though we've got no idea how to. And what makes things more difficult is the fact that the house is on a slope, so you can't just rock up with scaffolding. Put it up, and you're good to go, because it's all at a pretty, it's all sloping in all sorts of directions. Which obviously you can still put scaffolding on now. It just makes it more tricky. So he talked us out of pointing the village house. We were thinking about pointing the two barns on the land at some point, but we probably will not do that either.
Again, he said you're better off to
just plaster it on the inside.
Plaster inside and leave the outside natural.
And let it breathe.
This is what they're supposed to look like.
So we're going to go with that, at least for the time being.
It's going to be cheaper, it's going to be quicker. I love it.
Yeah. So, and because it's going to be still plastered on the inside, it's still sealed. So you're not going to have things going in and so on. So that's that. Like I said, next video, we're starting to empty the lower barn, because we want to, in the coming month or two, we want to get properly to work on the actual construction side of it. But we can't do that until it's empty, and there's a lot of stuff in there. So that will be next video. We're planning on spending at least 2 days next week emptying that thing. We've spent a decent amount of time this week clearing up around the olive trees, removing the suckers from the bottom of them and any other sort of weeds or unwanted plants growing at the bottom of the trees. So I reckon we still have a full day of doing that, and we have quite a lot of prunings from that to burn. That should be happening in a couple of days, but we're not going to bore you with that too much. We have pruned the last 3 olive trees from this top area. If you remember in the video, I mentioned we've got 3 zones in a way, in terms of how we're going to be pruning gradually all the olive trees on a rotational basis. So yeah, that's done now for this year. We just need to clear up at the bottom. Neighbour is coming. And his sheep.
And we have a new member section.
Yes. So, because obviously the channel is growing, which is great. One of the things that we can do is we were able to open up a members section on YouTube, which we weren't able to before. in terms of the content for the main part of the channel, which is what you're watching now, there's nothing that will change. So the regular videos will still be coming on Monday each week. There'll be no change to that. The members section is there mainly for people that want to support the channel financially, and there will be little perks like being able to view the videos as soon as they're uploaded, as opposed to for when they're scheduled. For example, when we're recording this, there are 3 videos scheduled for the coming 2 weeks or so, but obviously they're scheduled for specific dates for specific reasons. So yeah, members area, that's now open, but there's not too much in there yet. But we'll be putting stuff on there over the coming weeks again, trying to get that built up a little bit. Is there anything I haven't mentioned?
So.
So yeah, stay tuned in. The work on the farm and the renovations on both the village house and the farm, the lower barn in particular, are starting in the coming weeks. So we're going to be ordering some materials soon, hopefully, and we'll be getting to work as the temperatures heat up.
It's quite hot today.
Yeah.
It's what, 6 o'clock now? 6:30, and it's really hot.
Yeah, 6:30, and it's April, and it's hot.
Yeah.
So yeah, until the next video.
Adios.
Bye bye.